Welcome to Spectrum TV News at 12. I am Ngige and coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city. Government says Egypt opens border for stranded Nigerians. Plus, United Nations holds crucial Afghanistan talks in Qatar without Taliban. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. And thanks for joining us. First in the news this afternoon is Nigeria's leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, who has advised the incoming administration of Bola Tinubu to continue to respect workers' rights as part of its core development agenda. Buhari stated this in his speech at yesterday's May Day celebration, which was delivered by the Secretary to the State Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. The President said his administration believed in the enthronement of decent work that is productive, delivering a fair income with security and social protection, and safeguarding the basic rights of workers. He said the federal government was committed to reducing poverty and forging a path to achieving equitable, inclusive and sustainable development, as well as peace and security in communities. War to cross after an intervention by President Buhari. This was made known by the chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Ewera, via her Twitter handle. Dabiri Ewera said that an Air Force plane is already on ground in Aswan, Egypt, and the process fleeing the Sudan war to cross its border. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has restated its commitment towards meeting its targeted revenue projection of over 213 billion naira for the 2023 fiscal year. FCT Permanent Secretary Olusade Adesola gave this assurance during the first quarter internally generated revenue review meeting of secretariats, departments and agencies SDAs of the FCT administration at the Federal Capital Development Authority FCDA Conference Hall, Abuja. Adesola noted that though the general performance in the first quarter of the 2023, which rose to 97.27%, was encouraging, more efforts needs to be done, and agencies that have maintained persistently low performance must wake up to their respective responsibilities. He hinted that the administration would review some of its interventions in the satellite towns to boost its revenue and enable the government's sustained sanitation and cleaning exercises in such areas. Visiting Nigeria's President-elect Bola Tinubu, Obi made the clarification during an interview with newsmen. According to him, the rumors and purported photoshopped pictures making rounds on social media were part of moves by the opposition to derail his objective. Meanwhile, Obi is reportedly in court to challenge Tinubu's victory during the 2023 presidential election on February 25. In another development, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has expressed opposition to a bill before the House of Representatives mandating medical and dental practitioners to undergo a minimum of 5 years of service to obtain a full license. According to him, a private member bill in the National Assembly comes from either a legislator's constituents or is authorized by legislator after a discussion with people in the concerned constituency who agree that the proposal is the solution to their problem. He argued that it is better for the Federal Ministry of Health to look into the medical school at a level where dialogue could be initiated around fees payable. Away from that, a joint panel comprising officers of the Nigeria Police Force, Department of State Services, and officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission has invited the suspended Adamawa resident Electoral Commissioner Hudu Yunusa Ari over his conduct during the April 15 supplementary elections. The investigation panel, set up by the inspector, is headed by an assistant inspector of General of Police and head of Interpol Nigeria, Garba Umar, who was appointed as head of the election planning, monitoring, and evaluation team in the build-up to the 2023 general elections. The spokesperson for the Force Criminal Investigation Department, Fumi Egwaje, confirmed the developments to newsmen. Recall that Yunusa Ari had stirred controversy after declaring the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Aisha Dairu, popularly known as Binani, as the winner of the Adamawa state governorship election when collation of results was yet to be completed. On education, the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination statement by the head of Public Affairs and Protocol, Fabian Benjamin, said that candidates who were verified at their centers but could not write the examination, candidates whose biometrics could not be verified, and those with mismatched data will not get their results but instead will get a notification for rescheduled exams. According to the statement, the board has fixed May 6 for a retake for candidates who have not written their examination, adding that all candidates under the categories listed are required to print their slips between May 4 and 5 so as to know the time and venue of their examination. On the home front, the Akwa Ibom State Governor Dom Emmanuel has appreciated workers in the state for their collaboration and support to his administration over the years, while reiterating his commitment to a better welfare and working condition for the workers. Speaking during the May Day celebration yesterday, Governor Emmanuel, who attended the International Workers' Day for the last time as the governor, appealed to them to extend the support to the incoming administration in the state. Our correspondent has the details.
Has assured workers in the state of a medium housing scheme before the end of his administration on May 29. Speaking during the 2023 International Workers' Day celebration held at the Bom Hall grounds, Suyo, the governor said works was ongoing on the project and that some units were already completed, awaiting commissioning before May 29. Appreciating the robust working relationship he has enjoyed with Akwa Ibom workers and by extension the organized labor throughout his tenure, the governor asserted that the government and Labour are supposed to partner for the development of the state. This, he affirmed, has been upheld by Labour during his tenure. He appealed to them to extend the support to the incoming administration in the state.
For the housing scheme, Chairman Labour Congress, let me reassure you that before I leave on May 29, I'm going to commission a medium housing scheme for workers before I leave on May 29. You might not know that we've gone far. As of today, we've done a whole lot of units. I don't want to give you the figure so that I might not be wrong. But trust me, we'll commission that before we leave. I really want to thank them for the robust relationship we've had in the past 80 years. It's never been that good. I really want to thank them. And I want to assure them that we came here to serve each other. It is not Labour versus governor or governor versus Labour. We are all working together for the betterment of our people and making things work better for our state. And in these past years, they've done that seriously, and I must commend them.
Responding to some of the issues raised by Labour leaders, especially those affecting local government workers and primary school teachers, the governor, who enumerated most of the major interventions his government has done to ensure better welfare for the workers, again assured that some of their prayers will be met before the end of his government.
I thought we'll be ready on Wednesday and will correct those issues of the pensioners if their joint report will be ready by that Wednesday. And they promised me the report will be ready and we'll correct it for the pensioners on Wednesday. In the past 8 years,
in a solidarity message at the event, the incoming governor, Pastor Moino, appreciated the workers for fulfilling their pledge to support his emergence in the March 18 gubernatorial election and assured them that he will keep his own part of the bargain upon assumption of office. The governor-elect further promised to further the mutually beneficial government-labor relationship in the state and urged all sectors to synergize in the interest of the state.
Excellency, we want to take this opportunity to thank the Nigerian Labour Congress Akwa Ibom State and the TUC Akwa Ibom as winning that election. We will keep aside of our promise. We'd like to assure you that we'll continue to build on the good works that His Excellency the King Gabriel Emmanuel has already done. We'll work with you, we'll prioritize your welfare, and we'll ensure that you continue to have a good working relationship between government and the labor.
In his address, the chairperson of the Nigerian Labour Congress Akwa Ibom State, Comrade Sonny James, appreciated the governor for his efforts in improving the working environment and meeting of several workers' demands, especially the payment of workers' entitlement. He expressed optimism that the incoming government will do more for the workers.
Your Excellency, we appreciate your grasping desire to improve the wall of work with a view to better the working class in our state. In the last 4 years, Your Excellency, meeting several workers' demands, especially in the area of prompt payment of salaries and pensions to retirees. We therefore call on the newly elected leaders of our state to adopt human rights-centered leadership approach to address every social contract facing socio-political and economic challenges facing our people.
The event featured
in Africa, the United Kingdom (UK) says it has ended evacuation flights from Wadi Setna airstrip due to a decline in demand by British nationals and the increasingly volatile situation in the country. According to Foreign Secretary James Cleverly, the operation in Sudan is the longest and largest airlift by any Western nation, with 2,197 people airlifted from the war-torn nation. Reports say the exceptional flights, billed as the last UK airlift from Sudan, took off from Port Sudan on the Red Sea coast on Monday. Meanwhile, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office said it would release passenger numbers for the two latest flights today. Still in Africa, police officers have reportedly been deployed on the streets in Kenya's capital Nairobi ahead of planned protest by the opposition. Opposition leader Raila Odinga stated that protests will resume amid warning by the authorities that they will not allow it in the ending that it would be peaceful and in compliance with the constitution. He added that the police could not decide in advance that there would be violence as the basis for banning protests that were protected by the constitution. Practices. On the foreign scene, the Taliban has not been invited to a United Nations organized conference on Afghanistan in Doha, with the Afghan group governing the South Asian country saying that the two-day meeting would be ineffective without its participation. Envoys from the United States, China and Russia, as well as major European aid donors and key neighbors such as Pakistan, are among the representatives from about 25 countries and groups called to the 2 days of closed-door talks by the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres in the Qatari capital. Recall that last week the UN chief said the de facto Afghan rulers would not be invited to the meeting to discuss the dire humanitarian situation in the country and its international isolation. Still on the foreign scene, the United States has estimated that more than 20,000 Russian soldiers have been killed in fighting in Ukraine since December. The National Security Council spokesman John, who have been attacking the eastern Bakhmut city. Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials have also said they're using the battle to kill as many of Russia's troops as possible and wear down its reserves. Recall that Russia has reportedly been trying to take the small city since last year in a grinding war of attrition. Still to come in the news. PSV Eindhoven beat Ajax on penalties to retain trophy in Dutch Cup. Do stay with us for more details after the break.
Business exists only to meet the need that gives you the added advantage over your competitors. For your desired return on investment and so much more, advertise on Spectrum Television, on StarTime's DTH Channel 421 and on free-to-air with a frequency of 12733. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
In circulation in the country stood at 2.34 trillion naira as of April 18, 2023, from 3.23 trillion naira in October last year. CBN Director, Currency Operations Department Ahmed Umar, while speaking with newsmen, explained that currency in circulation comprises both the new and old banknotes, noting that the volume of electronic transactions had risen significantly as a result of the implementation of the cashless policy. According to him, electronic transactions stood at 434 million naira in Q1 of 2022 and went up to 7 billion between January and March 2023, representing a growth of about 984%. Still in business, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has said Nigeria could lose an estimated $10 billion of foreign direct investment and official development assistance inflows to geopolitical tensions. The IMF, in its release on country focus on sub-Saharan Africa, said the figure is about 0.5% of the nation's annual gross domestic product. The Washington-based lender stated that the losses could be compounded if capital flows between trade blocs were cut off and geopolitical tensions were to escalate. The organization noted that the region's economy could experience a permanent decline of up to 4% of its gross domestic product after 10 years, adding that trade alliances with new economic partners, predominantly China, have benefited the region. In health, Nigeria has reported a total of 532 confirmed cases out of 1,686 suspected cases of meningitis, including 124 deaths for a case fatality ratio of 7%. This is according to a release by the World Health Organization (WHO) on the epidemiology situation of the disease in Nigeria as of April 27, 2023. The cases were reported from 81 local government areas in 22 states, including the Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria, from October 1, 2022 to April 16, 2023. According to WHO, the case fatality rate (CFR) for the outbreak is 7% and 5% at the national and state level, respectively. Still in health, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration announced today. This follows a release by health officials in Malaysia and Taiwan on the recall of Indomie's special chicken flavor noodles reported to contain ethylene oxide, a flammable colorless gas with sweet odor, potentially causing cancer. NAFDAC said the importation of Indomie noodles into Nigeria had been banned for many years and was on the prohibition list. The Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye, in an interview with newsmen, said the agency had begun investigation. In sports, PSV Eindhoven has retained the Dutch Cup by beating Ajax on penalties in Rotterdam. Wolves' Leonie Fabio Silva scored the decisive spot kick as PSV won 3-2 in the shootout to lift the trophy for an 11th time. The match had earlier finished 1-1 after extra time, with Everton Leonie Gerrard early owns goal for Ajax cancelled out by Thorgan Hazard. The result means Ajax is likely to finish the season without a trophy for the first time since 2017-2018. Meanwhile, Johnny Hettiga's side are third in the Eredivisie with 4 matches remaining, 3 points behind Ruud van PSV and 11 adrift of leaders Feyenoord. Still in sports, Rotterdam has secured championship safety with a game to spare as Hakeem Odoffin's goal proved to beat 10-man time of a scrappy first half for bringing down Jordan Hugill on the edge of the box. And moments after the break, Odoffin sparked jubilation among the home supporters when he lashed a 20-yard shot into the bottom corner of the net. The result leaves Rotterdam 5 points clear of the bottom 3, while third bottom Reading will now need Huddersfield to lose against Sheffield United on Thursday to beat the Traitors on the final day to avoid relegation. Debut on screens this May. The television show, which is hosted by the award-winning TV personality and actress Nancy Sima, will premiere on May 5 on African Magic Urban, following the success of its previous seasons. Reports say the show will feature A-list celebrities such as Tenny the Entertainer, Erica Nweldim, Mr. P, Banky W, Adeswa Wellington, Ramsey Noah, and many others. Still on entertainment, Nigerian singer Onyekasola Sarah Aderibe, popularly known as Ice Star, has been directed to take immediate bed rest due to health issues. This was made known in a statement posted on the music star's Instagram page. The Marvin signee, who was scheduled to perform at the Industry Night show in Houston, expressed regret for the cancellation of the show and apologized to her fans. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum TV News at 12.
Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.